using a plug-in power source to run it. If you can see, it's 3 volts and about 100 milliamps coming out of that power source, which technically is a lot less than most of the Bendini motor generators are running on. Even this Bendini motor generator diagram, this Bendini SSG Daftmans diagram, says use 12 volts to run and charge 12 volts, but I am not. I'm actually right now charging this 9-volt battery. I at a very incredibly slow rate, but it is actually charging while using 3 volts. It is actually charging a 9-volt battery that is not rechargeable. And that's just the SSG side. If you look, I have one rotor on the top and one rotor on the bottom. The bottom rotor is effectively working with the SSG circuit. The top rotor is riding on the same axle. But if you can look, there is a right there is a separate bearing which allows me to grab this rotor or this axle and stop, and then I can spin it, bring that rotor back up to speed, which is really magnetically locked with the north pole facing out only, and the top rotor is north south north south. I'm getting a north-south current passing past my pickup coils. Each one of the pickup coils is putting out about 2.6 volts and about 30 milliamps. I have 4 coils on this. This one and this one are running independent little lights. As you see here, this one don't want to stay lit, but then this coil and this coil are actually going here into a rectifier, going into one 3-volt LED white and one 3-volt LED blue. Both of these LEDs need a minimum, I believe, of 25 milliamps to turn on and a minimum of 2.5 volts to turn on. So I am getting a nice amount of juice out of both of these 2 coils tied together and rectified. And here I'm using a couple capacitors to smooth it out. If you watch, I pull out that capacitor and the light starts blinking, and I get the capacitor back in. The light's still blinking, but to a lesser degree. I could add in a big cap, charge it up, and there goes the light. No more blink because the cap is actually smoothing it out. And I can also take and plug in here, pre-rectification, a little light bulb, and that goes on. Dims the other 2 lights, but they're all 3 running at the same time. And for those who know what voltage is necessary to run these LEDs and understand what kind of power is being put into the SSG circuit from this power source to run this whole motor contraption, I am very close to getting out exactly what I put in to run the thing. Getting out 3 volts, or putting in 3 volts and 100 milliamps. Getting out over or around 3 volts and around 100 milliamps. Which I don't know how close that is to breaking the 3rd law of thermodynamics set down by Einstein, but I think his theory is just that, just a theory and not a solid law. And if it is a law, it's getting broken by somebody that's smarter than me, that builds better than me, because there's people out there doing this and are far more successful and more skilled and educated about this than I am. And if I can do this, there's something wrong with the education that we have been receiving, and something to be considered, because I don't have an education in making this kind of stuff. I downloaded this blueprint diagram, the Daftman, put it up on the internet. You can find it on Google and build your own. An attempt to make a Bendini motor energizer similar to this.